Today's show is sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Association. Join up to support the electrification of transport and get the help you need to finance your own clean EV or energy future. And by Unspun, a certified B Corp building ultra-sustainable and custom-built jeans from 3D and iPhone scans. Sign up as a beta tester today and get a $40 gift card towards your first pair of jeans in exchange for your feedback and advice. And by Energy Sage. Visit the link in the description to find local, verified solar installers and community solar projects in your area that will help you power your home and your car with clean, green, renewable electricity. Welcome back to TN or Transport Evolved News. We have a bunch of stuff to get on with today, so let's get on with it. We have to start today's show with Tesla's second AI Day, which took place late on Friday evening local time, during which we have learned a lot about Tesla's future AI plans. Starting the event, Tesla revealed its progress on Optimus, its humanoid robot. While the robot did take some faltering steps on stage and we saw some pre-recorded video of the Tesla bot pretending to water plants with an empty watering can, the Tesla Optimus part of the presentation felt awkward, rough around the edges, and frankly, not like Tesla at all. But the second part of the presentation, where we learned about the AI developments being made by Tesla on Project Dojo and its autopilot full self-driving, that was, in part, impressive. But we're not being given a final date for FSD rollout, and Tesla keeps coming up with plenty of reasons why FSD isn't fully completed yet. There's just too much to cover in one show here from the event, so let us know in the comments below if you want a separate video. After what feels like an eternity, Nissan has finally begun pricing for the all-electric Ariya SUV for sale around the world, and following recent European pricing, it's now priced in the US as well. While the Ariya SUV will be available with a choice of all or front-wheel drive, with pricing going all the way up to $60,190 for the range-topping Ariya Platinum Plus E4s, the entry-level Nissan Ariya will start from $43,190 before mandatory fees or incentives. For that, you'll get front-wheel drivetrains and a 63 kWh battery pack, giving 216 miles or 347 kilometers on the EPA test cycle. Given every other Ariya variant has a much larger 87 kWh battery pack, I'm really interested to see how well this starter version sells. When it comes to challenging the status quo, French automaker Citroen has a bit of a reputation. I mean, it is the car company that gave the world the De Chauffeur and the DS. This week, it revealed a new concept car that follows in that bold, historic tradition. Enter the All-E, a concept that looks nothing like anything Citroen has made before. It's seemingly inspired by the Hummer EV and is a boxy, truck-like car that is neither a truck nor in fact a car, but it packages seating for four with a rear load bay that can either be treated as a fully enclosed hatch or, in fact, be treated like a pickup bed. Being a concept vehicle, some of the specifications are a little hazy, but Citroen says the vehicle has smart V2G and V2L, as well as a 20 to 80% recharge time of just 23 minutes. Oh, and the vehicle also features loads of recycled materials, including recycled cardboard bonnet, roof, and pickup bed. We are constantly complaining on this channel that electric vehicles simply aren't affordable enough for many people and that mainstream automakers don't care about that fact. So if you're in Europe and want another affordable EV choice, you might be pleased to know that BYD has just set pre-sale pricing for its soon-to-launch BYD Atto 3 compact SUV, BYD Han sedan, and BYD Tang full-size SUV. Official MSRPs will be shared at the Paris Motor Show shortly, but pre-sale pricing puts the BYD Atto 3 at €38,000, with the other two coming in at €72,000 each. If you're watching outside of Europe, it is worth remembering that those prices, which were set for Germany as an illustration, do include sales tax at 19%. So if you remove that sales tax, you're looking at closer to €32,000 or about 31,300 and some US dollars. If you are a hardened EV fan who has eagerly embraced the early adopter world of ordering and buying EVs online, you probably don't miss the traditional dealership experience. But just released data from Escalent shows that while there's now a massive increase in interest among car buyers in going electric, 57% of buyers questioned in its latest survey say they prefer the traditional dealership model of car buying, with only 20% saying they prefer a direct sales model as offered by companies like Tesla and Rivian. Moreover, a majority of respondents said they would rather visit a dealership to purchase, finance, take delivery of, and even have servicing done on their EV than having everything done online and having a service team visit them at home or work. It again demonstrates that there is a massive gap between early adopters like us and the rest of the automotive market. Unless you've been under a rock for the last few months, it is probably impossible to not note how badly the UK economy has been faring as inflation rises and the British government seemingly does nothing about it. Hampered by Brexit, the continued invasion of Ukraine by Russia, and corporate price gouging, the price of energy in the UK has soared, with petrol, diesel and natural gas all affected, as well as the price of electricity. And that price has been passed on to consumers in their homes, but is now being felt at public charging stations too. The UK's Royal Automobile Club disclosed this week that over the last 4 months, the cost to use a rapid charger in the UK has risen on average by 42%. Right now, a typical rapid charging station is charging upwards of 63 pence per kilowatt hour, which for our American audience is the equivalent of about 70 cents per kilowatt hour. That said, having a subscription does help lower that cost. Insurance company Geico is pretty well known in the US thanks to its cutesy ads featuring Martin, the British-sounding Geico. But if you're someone who owns a Tesla, you may want to steer clear of the company for your insurance needs after a news story surfaced claiming that Tesla-certified accident repair shops in the Greater Phoenix area are refusing to repair Teslas insured through Geico. They claim Geico won't pay to get repair work done. While this is an anecdotal story and we've not had a formal response from Geico, it does seem the insurance company believes that the costs quoted to repair Teslas are far higher than equivalent repair costs for other non-Tesla EVs, and thus it won't pay. This is not the first time we've heard that Teslas are more expensive than other cars to repair, because Tesla controls the pricing of parts, and it also explains why Tesla now offers insurance in-house. Although Rivian has been delivering its R1T and R1S electric vehicles to customers in the US for some time now, not a single Rivian to date has been delivered to a customer in Canada. But Rivian announced this week it's now allowed to begin deliveries in Canada. The delay was apparently down to some old-fashioned bureaucracy. While both the R1T and R1S passed all necessary homologation tests to be considered legal to sell in Canada, it appears that the process of getting everything set up was held up by Transport Canada, which had apparently asked Rivian to provide supplemental paperwork in order to finalise the process. Now, Transport Canada has receipt of all of the crossed T's and dotted I's, and that means that deliveries are supposedly imminent. With any luck, Rivian looks like it may be able to start deliveries in Canada ahead of its planned November 2022 timeframe. As extreme weather events become more and more common across the world and the cost of batteries fall, there's a noticeable uptick in the number of people who are wanting backup power for their homes. This week, a new survey from Gold Zero, a US manufacturer and distributor of energy storage products for the home, detailed that while only 15% of US homes have backup power available to them in the event of a grid failure, a total of 61% say they wish they had some form of battery power backup. Shockingly though, about 43% of respondents admitted they don't know what their average home power consumption is, and 22% admitted they don't even know which things in their home use the most power. I guess this shows that, just like EV education, energy efficiency education has a long way to go. In the last decade, we've watched with interest as electric vehicle technology has progressed far enough to make electric airplanes an achievable part of our future. Many aircraft we've seen to date have been eVTOL craft, with the ability to take a small number of passengers on short trips across megacities. But this week, Eviation, an aircraft startup focused on building a more traditional-looking electric airplane, celebrated the successful completion of the first test flight of its Alice electric plane. Designed to be offered as a commercial commuter plane and a cargo plane, Alice is capable of local short-haul trips between major cities like Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington, and says Eviation will be able to service airports that can't currently offer commercial service due to noise limits or restricted hours. I cannot wait to see more from this plane. Short shorts are on their way, but first, how would you like to buy the best pair of jeans that you will ever own, all without spending hours at the shops? Enter Unspun. It is a US-based clothing company looking to revolutionize the way we think about the clothes we wear, using the latest technology to make custom, sustainable jeans that fit so well they will become your favorite go-to clothing choice in no time at all. Unspun's mobile app uses the built-in Face ID sensors from Apple's latest iPhones to create a detailed 3D scan of your body, which it then uses to craft a perfectly fitted pair of jeans to your chosen specifications. And if you happen to be within easy reach of one of Unspun's stores, you can opt instead to drop in to have one of Unspun's trained assistants help you get the custom fit you deserve. Pick the colour, the thread, the style you want, and Unspun does the rest. And because every pair of jeans are custom made, it eliminates the majority of wastage associated with garment manufacturing. Right now, Unspun still cuts parts from traditional bolts of fabric, using offcuts to produce denim insulation for homes. But its ultimate goal is to produce custom woven jeans for each and every customer. And unlike many brands out there, there are precisely 0 sweatshops involved. When I was looking to buy my last pair of jeans, I couldn't find any on the rack that fitted me well and made me feel good, and so I decided to give Unspun a go. I really loved that I could get measurements without leaving my home, and a few weeks later, I got these, what I can only describe as my best pair of jeans ever. Normally, Unspun jeans start from $200, but if you follow the link below and promise to give your feedback to Unspun, you'll get $40 off your first pair, so make sure you check them out, because I'm glad I did. And now, it's time for short shorts. Australian electric truck company C Electric has doubled the size of its production facility in the suburbs of Melbourne. Its expansion now means that it can produce 8 trucks per day, many of which are now used on local roads across the country. Artemis Technologies, a Belfast-based company focusing on decarbonising the maritime industry, has unveiled a new craft called the Artemis EF24. It's a passenger-carrying ferry with electric drive and e-foil technology, meaning it uses less energy to push itself along. The US federal government has now approved electric vehicle infrastructure plans from all 50 US states, as well as the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico. The plans will be funded by the 2021 US infrastructure bill, which set aside a total of $5 billion for EV charging provision. Volvo has continued to drip-feed information about its all-new EX90 full-size electric SUV. Due to get its launch in just over a month, Volvo revealed that it has interior radar monitoring designed to ensure children and animals aren't accidentally left alone in the vehicle. VIA Motors has just announced the sale of 2,000 of its Class 3 electric chassis cabs to Pegasus specialty vehicles. Pegasus will use the cutaway chassis cabs to craft Type A school buses, electric shuttles, and paratransit buses for use across the US. After months of nary a noise, Lordstown Motors has finally begun production of its Lordstown electric pickup. And by that, I mean Foxconn has begun production of the Lordstown Endurance pickup truck. Right now, just 2 have rolled off the line, and no, there's no video of them. New York Governor Kathy Hochul has announced that the state's Department of Environmental Conservation will use powers granted to it by the state legislature to ban the sale of all new internal combustion engine vehicles in the state by 2035. Tata Motors has announced a brand new electric car for the Indian market called the Taigo EV. Sold alongside other Tata EVs, what is so impressive about this model is its starting price, 8.5 lakh, or about $10,500 US. Nottingham City Council in the UK has officially begun the first UK trials of a wireless inductive charging system designed to help electrify the city's taxi fleet. The wireless charging pads make it possible for taxis to charge while just queuing for new fares. The Tata Nexon EV Max has set a new world record by being the first electric vehicle to reach the highest motorable road in the world. It climbed the Umlingla Pass, and the EV hit a maximum elevation of 19,024 feet, or about 5,600 meters. LIvewire, the electric motorcycle brand spun off from Harley-Davidson, became the first electric motorcycle company to float on the New York Stock Exchange this week. It was the result of a $1.8 billion reverse merger with a special purpose acquisition company. Tesla has officially replaced outgoing board member and billionaire Larry Ellison with another billionaire, Joseph Gebbia, co-founder of Airbnb. While I'm sure he will be a perfect addition to the board, it would be good to see Tesla add some diversity to its board of directors. Niro has officially opened the first of its planned battery swap stations for customers in Germany. Unlike many automakers who tend to roll out infrastructure after vehicles have launched, Niro's approach to establish swap stations before deliveries begin later this year is the way it should be done. Hertz has confirmed that its transition to electric vehicles is proving extremely popular with customers, with demand for its fleet of Tesla EVs very, very strong indeed. Interestingly though, it's not just corporate customers who want Teslas. Casual renters want them too. Cadillac has officially recalled a few hundred Lyriq EVs after a defect was reported with some early production models that leaves the car's touchscreen display unresponsive and powered down. Affected customers will be contacted to have repair work carried out. After revealing its C1X motorcycle earlier this year, Super73 has teased a short video of a working prototype moving for the first time. While it is great to see the C1X head towards production, we are pretty underwhelmed by the speed and maneuverability shown here. Faraday Future has announced it successfully resolved an ongoing dispute with its largest shareholder, a dispute that was delaying its production and delivery plans for the FF91. With the dispute resolved and more funds raised, it says we'll see series production of the same very soon. New York City has set itself a goal of reaching a total of 4,000 electric vehicles to be added to its city fleet by 2025 as part of a larger goal to halve emissions from 2005 levels, but it has just reached that goal a total of 3 years early. The Peugeot E208 has just received a brand new powertrain and battery upgrade for the 2023 model year. It now gets the same electric powertrain from the E308 along with a larger capacity battery to increase range, power and efficiency all round. As Kia begins sales of its refreshed e-Niro or Niro EV in the US, it has confirmed that customers will get up to 500 kilowatt-hours of free charging from the Electrify America network. That should be good for about 2,000 miles of US road trips. Rumours are flying in Europe suggesting that Porsche is working on a brand new electric SUV that it plans to launch by 2026. Unlike previous electric Porsches, this new SUV will feature 3-row seating and be the largest car Porsche has ever made. Tesla has officially announced that the price of supercharging across Europe will rise. It's put the cost up by the equivalent of 12 cents per kilowatt-hour. Soaring electricity prices in Europe are being blamed, but supercharging now costs 71 cents per kilowatt-hour on average. Zero Motorcycles has released the all-new DSR-X, an all-electric motorcycle that it says is built for adventure. It looks the part, but it still lacks DC rapid charging, instead focusing on high-power AC charging. SRS and SRF models also get a battery pack and motor upgrade for the year. Sticking with two wheels, Honda has confirmed this week that it wants to bring 10 new electric two-wheeler models to market around the world by 2025, but it stopped short of stating when it would cease production of new ICE motorcycles. Nikola Motors has officially announced the first recall for the Nikola Tre electric big rig. What was the problem? A seatbelt anchorage assembly that may have been improperly installed during manufacturing, but all vehicles produced thus far are expected to have the defect. Uber has announced that it intends to go all-electric across its rideshare fleet by 2030. At least, it intends to in Europe, the US and Canada, where many regions have already set the same target date as being the date by which new internal combustion engine sales will be banned. Samsung SDI is reportedly planning a massive expansion for its battery production facility in Michigan. It acquired it from Magna Steyr in 2015. Samsung SDI currently produces battery cells for BMW and Rivian, as well as Stellantis' various brands. After overwhelming demand from school boards across the US, the EPA has officially doubled the amount of funding available to electrify the US school bus fleet. Now there's just shy of $1 billion available to help plug-in school buses nationwide. Toyota's CEO, Akio Toyoda, is someone who has remained skeptical of electric vehicles far longer than his colleagues elsewhere in the industry, and this week, yet again, reiterated to press that he believes hybrids will win over electric vehicles. So far, history would disagree. 7 Midwestern US states have announced the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding which will see them work together to establish and support the production of hydrogen fuel for use by hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. They seem to believe hydrogen, not electric, is the future. And those are your short shorts. There will be more next time. As you know, this is the little portion of the show where we like to give you a trailer for an upcoming video, but this week I want to share with you something you may have missed, our interview with the lovely Chris Anthony from Aptera. So if you missed it, here's a teaser video, and be sure to go back and watch it.
It's so exciting to finally show this vehicle to people, and it's really the culmination of everything we've been doing the last 3.5 years to refine the design, to make the drivetrain more efficient, to make the battery pack lighter weight, to make all of our components lighter weight. Since last you were here and you saw the beta development, we've really gone through multiple iterations of validating our aerodynamic profile, of lightweighting our parts, of going through interior ergonomic studies, working with our supply chain to production content this vehicle. And it really is an amazing step forward over the last 6 months or so since you've been here.
Elon Musk is someone who likes to make comments on Twitter that get a lot of attention, and this week has been no exception. When the state of Florida was trying very hard to deal with the impact of Hurricane Ian, Musk was on Twitter talking about the Tesla Cybertruck, stating that it would be, quote, waterproof enough to serve briefly as a boat so it can cross rivers, lakes, and even seas that aren't too choppy, end quote. While we have seen ocean-going amphibious vehicles before, and I myself have forded a few rivers in electric vehicles, I cannot stress how stupid it is to try and drive a vehicle through water that you don't know the depth or the current of, like floodwaters during a hurricane, for example. In fact, I'm going to leave the Washington State Department of Natural Resources to respond, because it won the week with the, quote, anything that serves briefly as a boat should not be used as a boat, end quote. Quite. And finally, as more electric cars have hit the roads of the world, we've started to see more electric vehicles enter into the world of motorsport. And as a Brit, I love seeing electric rally cars. And in Aotearoa, an all-electric rally car owned by Hayden Patton's team is really taking names and showing up ICE vehicles. The race-modified all-wheel drive Hyundai Kona EV just scored its second win in 2 races at the Ashley Forest Rally Sprint. And now the team says the car will be heading to the Wamate Hill Climb later this month. And honestly, I cannot wait to see it in action. There is something quite special about watching a super powerful all-electric rally car going sideways around a corner that, well, I just like to see. I cannot wait to see more all-electric rally cars take on some of the world's most famous courses. What say you? And on that note, we are done for the day. But before I go, a huge thank you to the Electric Vehicle Association for sponsoring today's show. They have been advocating for electric vehicles since 1967 and firmly believe that our future depends on us making the switch to clean, green electric cars today. The EVA can help you find someone near to you that can help you make the switch to electric. It can help you become an EV educator, and it can point you in the direction of monthly meetups for like-minded EV fans. And if you do become a member, you'll gain access to a new clean energy and EV EV loan program set up between the EVA and the Colorado Clean Energy Credit Union. So find out more by heading to electricauto.org. Thanks also go to Unspun for sponsoring today's show. Become a beta tester today at the link below to get $40 off the best pair of jeans you will ever own. And finally, thanks to Energy Sage. Follow the link below to find out how easy it can be to get verified, trustworthy solar experts helping you make the step towards energy self-sufficiency, either with solar on your home or through a local community solar project. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell for this channel and our second channel, Transport Evolved Take 2. And if you are not already a channel member or a Patreon supporter, please consider becoming one, or you can send us a tip through Ko-fi or check out our new swag store. And if you did like what you saw today, why not consider adding a super thanks to your comment? It is super easy to do and it all helps the channel grow. I'll be back this time next week with another roundup from the news, but if you want to see any more content, there is plenty more on the channel. And if you want to see our garden and chicken update and our Sunday musing, which this week is about getting charging stations installed in rental properties, be sure to follow the link below and head over to Transport Evolved Take 2. I will be back soon, but as always, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and as always, keep evolving.